Algebra 2, Lesson 9, percent word problems. These are really similar to our finding percent problems. The only difference is we're not going to have the keywords is or of to help us out like we did before. Not really anyway, so we're going to have to use a little more logic to figure out what the parts are and also figure out what percent we should use. So starting with practice A, they tell us 60% of those present at the performance were neophytes. If 200 present were not neophytes, how many people attended the performance? Okay, so they want to know how many people total attended. They tell us 60% were neophytes, 200 were not. So the percent we don't need is 60. We don't need 60%. We need whatever percent represents the 200 who are not neophytes. Using logic, then you know that if it's not 60, then it's going to be the other part, which is 40, since there's only 100% people present and 40% are not neophytes. So instead of using 60, we're going to use 40 to represent this 200. So go back over here, and our equation being percent over 100 equals is over of, we're going to use 40 over 100. Now for our is or of. They tell us that 200 are not neophytes, so that 200 is going to represent that 40%, and then we don't know the of or the total amount. So over here, you can think of it this way. 40 are not neophytes, and then 100 is the total. We don't know the total, but we do know how many are not. So that 200 people will be there, the x will be there, we cross multiply to solve. We get 40x equals 100 times 200, divide by 40 on each side. That'll cancel. 4 will go into 25 times, 100 times 5 equals 500 for of. Next problem. Practice B. Production increased by 145% if the number of widgets produced this year was 1,007. Hold on. Let's see here. That's better. Production increased by 145% if the number of widgets produced this year was 171,500. How many were produced last year? So in this case, the percent changes. It's not that they're giving us the wrong percent, it's that our percent changes. So when they say production increased by 145%, we have to remember what was production at the year before. So if you think of it this way, on year 1, production is at 100%. Now, if we take that production level and we increase it by 145, on the second year, what's our production level? It's now 245%. So, whenever you see a phrase like this, production increased by this percent or decreased by this percent, always take that number and you combine it with the existing 100%. So, it's not going to be 145% over 100, it's going to be 245% over 100. So we've got 245 over 100 is going to equal is over of. So the number produced this year was 171,500, and then we know how many were produced last year. So 245% being this year is going to be the is, and that is 171,500. Last year is unknown. Solve by cross multiplication. We get 245x equals 100 times 171,500. Divide by 245. This problem is kind of big. I'm not sure how we can do this. We might just have to actually do this as a classic division problem. That might be the fastest way to solve it. So I'll go ahead and multiply this out. That's going to equal 171,500 multiplied by 100 gives us 2 more zeros, and then we'll divide that by 245. So 245 into, no, what am I doing? Fractions are easier. Let's just divide each of these numbers by 5. 5 goes into 245 let's see, 5 goes into 24 4 times, 45, 5 goes into 45 9 times. So if we divide that by 5, we get a new denominator of 49. Divide this one by 5, 5 goes in 17 3 times, carry the 2, goes in 4 and 3. So 3, 4, 3, add the 2 zeros. 5 goes into that 34,300 times. And you know how much you want to bet that 343 is divisible by 7? Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it. So if we divide 49 by 7, we get 7. If we divide 343 by 7, we get 4. With 6 left over, 7 goes into 63 9 times, so then we get 49. So then we get 4900. That divides by 7 evenly as 7. So then we just get 700 times 100, which gives us 70,000. So the production rate last year was 70,000.